What's up guys, Rodrigo Banzato here. Welcome to Tonka3D Total Image. I would like to show you some examples of the materials and the tools that we use in this course about the image, textures, panoramics, games and stuff. Let's get started with Photoshop. I have the Photoshop open here and as you can see I have a clean visual. I just have the layers and the tools bars. In window you can see that just the layers and the tools are here. Of course you can leave the channels here, you can manipulate this visual and close these bars or move them, but I prefer to work like this. Okay, let's see simple example here with a color correction. We have this image. Okay, this is another interesting image. You will see that is very different. It's very game visual. And this image with color correction, we have this result, and this we changes the background to make it a more interesting image. Okay, I will talk about a little about Photoshop tools. I always like to work with the scroll mouse button to zoom in and zoom out. You can in Edit Preference General, you can enable the zoom with scroll wheel. Okay. But when sometimes I'm working here and I just want to press the middle mouse button to change it to a pan. Okay. How I made this? I will show you. I have a program here. You can take this program too. It's the X mouse button control, and here you can add the any type of program you want. For example, here I added the Photoshop. In the middle mouse button, I selected Simulated Keys. Here, when I press this letter, I change to pan mode. Okay. LMB left mouse button. All right. Oh, by the way, I have another program here called Audacity, where I use it the well up and well down with this Control 1, Control 3 to zoom in and zoom out just with the mouse. I don't like to work with the keyboard, so I prefer to work with the mouse in this case. Okay, this is very personal, and here I will show you some another examples. For example, this panoramic. We have 7 photos to make this image. Of course, with expensive digital cameras, you can make an image like this with less photos. But let's understand, with the program PT Guy, you can take these 7 photos, and as you can see, he turns these images in spaces like this to stitch them together. Okay, but let's go back to Photoshop. You can see that this is a normal exposure photo, and this is an HDR image. It's much more interesting, beautiful. See the difference. We make this image taking 3 photos and 3 different exposures, one more dark, one normal, and one more bright. And in Photomatix Pro, this is the program, it's very simple, and I will show you. You can make this type of images. Okay, here is another example, and we have a very nice program. Let me show you. It's the FSP Viewer. We can view our HDR images Look, we don't have the tripod, all clean, visual, with high resolution. Okay, these images has 14,000 pixels. Okay, this is the FSPV. It's a very simple program to work. In the video tutorials introduction, you have the README, where you can see all the programs I'm talking about and the links of the programs. Okay, let's see some other examples. For example, I have the UDK. I did a quick, this is the script, a quick production here to show how you can start an interactive panoramic game. Okay, let's press play. As you can see, we have sound, we have we can add the special sound effects. We can see all the texture here, and with the spacebar, of course, if you have more 3D knowledge, you can add the some text here, some other things. But I made this to let you get started with these panoramics. So I don't want to complicate it too much. With the spacebar, we changed the panoramic. So this is a really interesting thing to show your vacations pictures and or to put in other way. Okay, I press the spacebar again, and you have another situation here just with sound effects. The sound effect is in one side of the image. It's very interesting. All right, let me ask here, and let's talk about a little about textures. Okay, here it's a photo, and here I made the tileable. Okay, I will show you how to quickly make this texture tileable and quickly how to make a normal and displacement. I really like this area because sometimes in some cases you will prefer to make the displacement in Photoshop. Some cases you will prefer to make the displacement in Mudbox. Here I have the Mudbox. Let me show you this work here. So in the Mudbox, I extracted the normal and the displacement map channels. Or sometimes I can go here and use NDO to produce the normal maps. For example, here I produced the normal map of this rock or stone, and I can see the result in this cube. If I scroll the mouse button, I zoom in. If I press the middle mouse button, I can rotate. If I click the right mouse button and move, I can change where the light is. So all these things to test our normal. Okay, here there's layers of my normal. Let me turn off this cube. And for example, you can see the difference here. All right, you can make more stronger. Look how you can see now the result. So NDO, it's a very powerful tool. You have presets here that you can use, and you can transform a normal to a displacement map like this. So as I talked to you, as I said to you, sometimes I prefer to make the displacement first. Let's see in the 3ds Max. Here is an example. It's a very beautiful plant wall. Here I used this displacement I made in the Photoshop, so it's very different example. Have the normal. This is another normal, because I was manipulating early this file, so I would like to show you here in brick walls, let's say in stone pedra. For example, we have the 2048 pixels textures and the 40,000 pixel textures here, because we are working with 4,000 pixels textures. The NDO, it takes too much long to produce this image. You will see if you try to convert this 40,000 pixels to an NDO normal. Let's go back here, and in materials you will see that you have different options: array, main array, V-ray. V-ray is very good. I really like the V-ray. I will bring this here so you see how I configure my files. So if you want a different rock, for example, you just need to change this image, clicking here. Okay, here's a specular. That's the same or not? No, it's not the same. You have the normal and you have the displacement. Let's see. This displacement, I believe I did this in Mudbox. Alright, we have an HDR image to illuminate the scene. I spot here to let one side more bright than other. Let's click render. You see that it's very fast. Let's wait a little bit, and you see a great result in this texture. Every texture, like I said, it's stylable, and you can multiply this in any wall with any size. I will show you how to make all these changes. Let me cancel here. It's fine. And what I want to say to you is about the array material, because we have here the array materials. You can have the link here. Let's go back here. Of course, we have a lot more textures, not too much materials, but take a look at how much textures we have here. For example, in the brick wall, look how many textures we have in the ground. For example, I have a lot of textures here. Alright, so the materials is to guide you to use these materials and make little changes to use with your own textures. Okay, let's see the materials. Of course we have the main array. Alright, and let's take the wall. And just to show you that we use here in the main array, render, I use the Arch and Design, and I will show you how to make your textures here, what channels. Let me click in render, and you see a great result. Let's wait a little. This is a great texture. Okay, so you can see the displacement here. It's really nice to work with displacement, and sometimes with the normal map. Okay, but what I want to say is that the array, when you download the array, you can, let's take the brick. Of course you can double click here and choose on texture. Okay, let's take the brick. Let's drop here, open, and the only thing that I think it's not too much perfect is because the normal map. You don't have array normal map. You have, for example, a V-Ray normal map place to put your normal maps. But in the array, we don't have it. Depending on the project you are working, I really prefer to use the array because it uses the GPU, the process of your video card. So it's really fast, and you can even choose how many seconds you want in the array render. I will show you this during the course, some examples. Have a look and see how the contrast of the look is. It's really clean. It's really interesting. Okay. This is these little artifacts you can correct in the displacement size. It's a little configuration, and like I said, I will show you everything about these handers, of these three type of handers, and I think it's no guys. I show it to you the how some examples of how we will manipulate the image, the textures, about the NDO. That's a great tool you can work, about the array and how I organize all these textures and materials, about Mudbox and how we can extract it and work in here very comfortable, about this little tool FSP to view our panoramic image really fast, how to stitch together our images, and how to make an interactive game, and finally how to make a very impacted HDR imaging. Okay guys, hope you like this introduction, and let's go.